Hey, welcome back to the show. So, today we're going to be doing a climbing shoe review, and these are the Scarpa Arpias, new for 2019. Alright, so Scarpa Arpias are new for 2019. Now, Scarpa is an Italian climbing shoe company. One of my favorites. I've been climbing with them for years and years. Scarpa describes the Arpia as designed for the intermediate climber. They say more aggressive and downturned than the flat-lasted Force V, but softer than the Vapor V. So, you know, what do I think about these? I've been using them for a while now. The MSRP is $159. I picked them up on sale for $120 a few months ago. I think they can still be found on Amazon. Last I checked for that price. So for $120, not a bad shoe. For $160, maybe not the right buy. Let me tell you why. Alright, so the Scarpa Arpias are a kind of moderately downturned shoe and slightly asymmetric. This is kind of why I think Scarpa is calling them an intermediate shoe. I personally don't like to think of shoes that way. I don't think that there's necessarily, there are some beginner shoes, but you know, even beginner shoes really have a targeted purpose. Whether it's, you know, all-day wear, if you're going to be, you know, trad climbing, multi-pitch climbing, most of those, you know, beginner shoes are kind of the flat, lasted shoes, but those are fantastic for, like I said, multi-pitch or all day. And then you have the highly downturned that are, you know, I guess what Scarpa might call the high performance or more professional level shoe. You know, but these at a moderate downturn and slight symmetry actually perform really well for a specific type of climbing. Whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced, doesn't really matter. You know, if it's the right type of climbing, the right type of shoe, it might be something you're going to consider getting. So, these have 3.5 millimeter Vibram XS Grip2 rubber, which is specifically why I got them, for friction climbing. I was going out to climb on some granite. Now the particular routes I got on didn't really lend themselves to friction climbing. However, I have spent several trips recently down at Jackson Falls on the really polished sandstone there. There's a lot of water runnels, you know, so you get a lot of friction climbing there, and these have really shined on that friction climbing for a few key reasons. First of all, the rubber. The fact that you have a split outsole, right? So you still have quite a bit of flexibility here in the shoe. And in smearing, you know, these do not have a toe patch. So, you know, you get a lot of flexibility in the toe, which means as you smear, you know, and this grabs in, you know, that toe patch isn't going to restrict that movement. You get a lot of surface area onto the rock and really make use of that soft grip to rubber. So I really like them for that purpose. However, there are certain things that they don't do well, all right? Because there's not a toe patch, you're not really going to be toe hooking in these. They are maybe not the best heel fit, at least not for me, for heel hooking. So you're not going to be climbing, you know, steep, overhung stuff with these. You're not going to be, you know, probably doing a lot of bouldering or indoor gym climbing. I don't think these are very well suited to. However, they do still edge quite nicely, even though they're more of a friction and smearing style shoe, in my opinion. A few of the other features, you know, they have a synthetic upper, so they're not going to stretch as much as like an all-leather shoe. They also have a micro-suede liner inside, so they're super soft and comfortable. Again, I think this is a part of why Scarpa is, calling them an intermediate shoe is that, they're not gonna, hurt your toes if you're jumping, from a beginner, to a higher performance shoe. So they're not as downturned, they're softer, they're a little more comfortable. But all those things I think, really lend themselves, again, like I said, to the friction climbing and, heavy smear dependent routes, right? I do really, really well with this shoe. Some of the things I do not like. So they have this z-velcro enclosure, and I'm not a big fan. So I feel like, the amount of material, because it's a slipper with the velcro tightening over top of it, that there's a lot of kind of extra material up here, and so I don't get as good a fit as I do with say a double velcro enclosure or even a single that's straight across. The heel, when I first put them on, I thought felt a little loose, but over time really seemed to mold to my foot and fit really well. So that kind of brings up sizing in general. So Scarpa is an Italian company, so they use European sizing, which, for me, that's a 43.5 size. All right, so one of the nice things about European sizing is that, with the different size ranges that they use, I feel you can get a more tailored fit. So I really like that versus kind of, an American shoe like 5'10", which is sized using American sizing. For how to appropriately size a Scarpa shoe, for me, if it is kind of a sport route shoe or bouldering shoe, I will typically go down a full size below my street shoe size. Now this, I think, is kind of where, whether you're a beginner or intermediate or advanced climber, things really come into play, right? It is choosing how you downsize your shoe, right? So I wear an 11.5 street shoe, so I size to 10.5, which in the European sizing is 43.5. Could probably go a little tighter, but I'm probably more of the intermediate climber. So for me, that amount of downsizing is the right amount. It's a good shoe. Definitely at the right price if you're doing that type of climbing. Well worth it. I think that Scarpa is well built. They hold up, they last, and it is absolutely performing on the routes that I took it on. So what I'd really like to do is get it out on some friction climbing on granite. This would probably be a fantastic shoe to go out to like Vibram in. But it's really performed well at Jackson Falls, specifically because of the type of climbing that it is. So choose the shoe based on the type of climbing you're doing, and you won't go wrong. If you're sticking primarily to indoor climbing, probably not the shoe for you. Go with like an Instinct. It's a fantastic shoe from Scarpa. I wear those; they're great. If you're doing multi-pitch or trad, you probably want a more flat lasted shoe. I use the Scarpa, I can't think of what they're called, but another good one is the La Sportiva Tarantulaces. I think is a fantastic trad shoe for all day comfort. Real sticky rubber. So right shoe, just like the right tool, makes the job easier. If it's for you, go get it.